Hey everyone! So today we're going to be talking about the election, aka November 8th, 2016, aka possibly one of the biggest I told you so's in human history. Let's talk about it. So, in case if you haven't heard, Hillary lost. I hate to say it, but Bernie could have won. What am I saying? Bernie would have won. Bernie would have won by a landslide. Bernie would have annihilated Trump. He would have just stepped on him. But that's clearly not what happened. So who is to blame with this horrible Trump presidency that we're stuck into now? Is it the third party candidates? No. Is it the voters? No, it's ridiculous to blame the voters. The candidates should be reaching out to the voters. The voters shouldn't have to reach out to the candidates. So who is to blame? Well, the DNC. The Democratic Party are absolutely to blame. I think that everybody can kind of figure that out. Everybody except for CNN, MSNBC, all the big news people who are obviously rooting for Hillary and were part of the big biases that cheated Bernie out of the nomination. But anyways, virtually every poll, as I said, shows Bernie would have won in this election. He would have won by a landslide. And it's almost poetic. Because during the whole superdelegate process and the whole primaries, the DNC Democratic primaries, they were just being so biased, and it was so obvious they were rigging things, and WikiLeaks only comes out to prove that. But Hillary, as you probably know, got the majority of the vote. However, she lost because of the Electoral College, which we'll get into either in a later video or later in this video. But she lost. However, that's not even the thing. When you're faced with the most hated candidate in the modern history of the U.S., Donald Trump, how bad of a candidate can you be to lose to that? Like, how horrible do you have to be to lose to Donald J. Trump? I mean, serious. Anybody else should have won by a landslide if the Democrats would have been smart. But the point is, as much of the popular vote she got, she didn't get enough to hit it in the Electoral College and to win the presidency. And as I said, it's kind of poetic. They were cheating, and they're going and when the convention, when the Democratic convention came, all of the Bernie people, we were all saying, "Hey, this isn't fair. This isn't fair." And now what are all of the DNC and the Hillary people doing? They're going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, this isn't fair, this isn't fair, I'm going to protest." But, where were you? Like, seriously, where were you? We could have avoided all this. All the people who are protesting the fact that Hillary didn't win because it was unfair, where were they in during the conventions, the Democratic conventions? Where were they when the DNC blatantly, you could read it in WikiLeaks, they broke rules? And I just find that kind of ironic. I was watching a Democracy Now! Video from back, like I said, during the convention. And there were people, it was showing all the Bernie people walking out. I don't know if you remember, but, Bernie people, quite a few. We walked out, and we're just saying, this is stupid, this is pathetic, he should have won. And the most ironic thing here is, and this is what somebody said in the video. They were interviewing the person. I can't remember her name, but I'll put it in the description. But she literally said something along the lines of, the Democratic Party has shut their doors on us. They do not want us. They never wanted us. So now they're going to have to defeat Donald Trump by themselves. Well, it's been about 5 months now, and we can clearly see how good of a job they've done by themselves. Not only has the Democratic Party lost the presidency, they've lost the Senate and the House. If the Democrats want any future in this country, they need to start listening to the people who they claim to represent. They need to just go in there and fire every one of the head members and get brand new people, because clearly they've fucked up. They screwed up big time. Anyways, I want to move on just a little bit. Now, we've talked about who is to blame for this. I just covered it. But there are still some people who insist that it is Bernie Sanders. It's his fault. That's what one of the, I think it was Time. Yeah, I want to say it was Time magazine. They had an article blaming him. There's been several articles blaming Jill Stein and Gary Johnson. They're one of the biggest scapegoats that the big news people are blaming. But you know what? The thing is they still have not learned. Back in one of my other videos, I was talking and I said, we can go two routes with Hillary. And this was back before we knew who was going to win the election. It looked like Hillary was going to win from the mainstream polls. But I said, we can send out two messages. We can either, one, nominate Hillary and tell the establishment DNC and the people at the Democratic Party that it's okay for them to rig elections. It's okay for them to just throw out whatever establishment candidate they want and not who the people want. And we'll just keep voting them in because we're too scared of the Republican. If Hillary would have won, that would have been the message that was sent to the DNC. Of course, it's not, either way would have been horrible, but the one thing that we do have is Hillary did not win, and that sends a pretty loud and clear message. I mean, I know she got the majority votes, as I said, but anyone against Donald Trump should have won by a landslide. It shouldn't even have been close. But we sent this message. We said to the DNC, by not nominating Hillary, we said, it's not okay for you to rig elections. It's not okay for you to be biased towards certain candidates, and it's not okay for you not to listen to the will of the people. If you want to win the White House, if you want to win the Senate, if you want to win the House, then you're going to have to start listening to the people who you are claiming to represent. You're going to have to stop pondering to money. You need to start listening to the people. So if there's one thing that we can get out of this crazy election, it's that. We have sent a loud and clear message, and I was really hoping that the DNC would get that message and they would realize, whoa, guys, we screwed up big time. Next election, we're going to have to definitely nominate a candidate who they want, who the people want. But it seems to me, from what I've been reading, they're so stupid. How can you not get that message? From what I read, they're thinking about having Tim Kaine as the next big DNC leader. They're thinking about having him be one of the candidates. Tim Kaine. He was involved in this whole shit show, which was Hillary Clinton. They're either dumb or they just don't give a shit. And whichever one it is, it's pretty clear that I don't think that the Democratic Party is going to have any change in it. Unless if, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. It's only been 2 weeks, but we'll see how far they go. But from what it looks like to me and from what it looks like to history, the Democratic Party may just be dead. I don't know if I love Bernie, but I don't know if there's any future for it. I think I've said this in other videos. I think it's time for another progressive and actual left party to come in, and whether that be the Green Party, whether that be a progressive other party, or whatever party it is, I think it's pretty clear that the Democrats have been in power way too long and are not in touch with the people at all. Hopefully Bernie can do something, but I don't know. From the looks of it now, it looks like the Democratic Party is really kind of not looking good. Although the Republican Party's overfilled with joy. We'll get to that later, though, in another video. But anyways, I do want to say one thing. Not all the Hillary supporters and Democrats have been blaming third parties and people who should not be blamed. There are a few people, from what I've seen, who have actually realized, let me find it. There was a tweet, and then there was like a little letter that somebody put. First, the tweet. It's from this lady called Tour. I can't pronounce the name. It's got something on there. She's probably popular. It's got like I guess you guys can't see that, but it's got the little validation thing. But it's TOURE with the little dash above the. But she said, as a longtime Hillary supporter, I want to apologize to Bernie folks. I was wrong. I now think his economic populist message could have won. A little too late for that. But, and then there's another really long letter. I think it was, it doesn't say, it's like, it was on Reddit. So, you can't really give a good name to credit this to. But it said, basically said, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's super long, and I don't want to make this video like an hour. I want to keep it kind of short and sweet. But the gist of it was, she was saying, I am a Hillary supporter from California. I'm writing to here to offer my sincerest and deepest apologies for letting you down. During the primary, I was dismissive of Bernie. I appreciated his fire and his policy ideas, but I didn't believe that he had a shot at winning the general. I felt he was a fringe candidate to me. His strong performance during the primary surprised me, but when it came time, I cast my vote for Clinton. She goes on to say that basically what we've already said. Bernie would have won. Yeah. But to the Hillary supporters who are still not realizing that it's the DNC's fault and in fact Hillary Clinton's fault, I have two questions. Do you still think that Hillary was the best candidate to go up against Trump? Yeah, no. And two, if you're so supportive of protesting an outcome of an election, then where were you in July when Bernie Sanders, the candidate who had a 15 to 20 point lead on Trump in virtually every poll and who won almost every battleground state in which Hillary lost in the general election, got the nomination stolen from him by legit bias and rigging of the DNC? Where were you guys? Really, if maybe the protesters who are so vivid at protesting Trump now would have been there in July, we most definitely would have had a different outcome. So now I just want to go over one thing just to kind of sum this whole video up. If there's one thing to learn, obviously, it's listen to your base, Democratic Party. But where's Hillary? The Dakota Access Pipeline is a big deal, and Bernie Sanders was there just last Wednesday giving a big speech at one of the protests. He's out in the streets, he's talking to people, he's giving interviews, but where is Hillary? This guy on Twitter, Connor Kilpatrick, he said something that I like. He said, Sanders is out talking to people, carrying on his message, ready to go at Trump. Hillary is nowhere to be seen. She was never a leader. And then Prestige JC replied, she literally took a hike. Which if you watch the news, you know that she literally did take a hike. Which makes it comical. But it still raises up a good point. Where is Hillary? Bernie, as I said, he's out fighting for against the Dakota Access Pipeline. He's protesting. Trump is sadly getting ready to become president of the United States. But where's Hillary? I think that's just a good point that kind of shows the truthfulness that how truthful people were on the campaign trail, because you'd see them fighting. But enough of that. To sum up, the apologies that people are trying to give, I think we need to accept. We need to kind of mend together. And as far as apologies go, maybe we need to give some. I've seen a lot of horrible and hateful things said about different voters and to different people unfriending people on social media sites, all because of their political opinions and who they voted for. And it's been a nasty election cycle, is what I want to say. And maybe it's a good thing that it's over with. Does that mean to stop participating in politics? Hell no. But I think it does mean that we can kind of mend together and get back to being a nation. If you're worried about Trump, he's already backpedaled on several issues, and I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, let's come together. Let's fight for the issues that we care about, like climate change and the Dakota Pipeline, and the things that we would have gotten if Bernie or Jill would have won. But they didn't, so we just got to go from here. Thanks for watching. I'll be uploading more persistently. I know I say that a lot, but this time it'll be kind of nice. I'm not quite so busy as I was. I enjoy giving my opinion, and I like hearing yours. So if you disagree with me or you agree with me, leave your comments in the leave a comment and like and share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.